Are you thinking about moving to the Portland metro area, maybe living in Portland close into the city? Well, I'm going to talk about some areas in this video that definitely fly under the radar, but they're hiding in plain sight. Stay tuned to learn more. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Paul Clem with the Home Team Brokers coming to you from Portland, Oregon. And in this video, we're going to talk about South Portland. So this is Portland's newest directional address. Historically, Portland is separated into 4 quadrants: southwest, northwest, northeast, southeast. You also have North Portland, kind of the 5th quadrant, but a couple of years ago, about 18 months ago, South Portland was established as its own directional address. So this is an area that is south of downtown Portland. You have the South Waterfront, you have a neighborhood called Lair Hill, and then you have a neighborhood called John's Landing. So it's not a very big area as far as its geographical footprint. There's about 25,000 people that live in South Portland, but honestly, some of the coolest neighborhoods that you will see in all of Portland. You're right on the river, so you have views of downtown, you have views of the east side and of Mount Hood, and of course views of the river looking east. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, or you've been here and you haven't already and you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. And we've helped so many people relocate to Oregon and move to the Portland metro area. And as real estate professionals, we love to help with that process. So if that's you, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video and schedule a Zoom call with us. Either way, we would love to help with your move to Portland. Now, all of this is going to be relatively urban living. Again, you're really close into downtown Portland, you're close into the city. Lair Hill and John's Landing, you're looking at the majority of the construction in these areas taking place over 100 years ago. So you're gonna get homes built in like the 1880s, 1890s, up until about 1920. And then in John's Landing, you do get some development, in particular townhouses, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, things like that. But then on South Waterfront, this is an area that even 20 years ago was just vacant land. So you fast forward to today and you have these big high-rise condo buildings, as well as a lot of buildings for OHSU. And so as they were developing this area, they put in the aerial tram that connects the South Waterfront to OHSU up on the hill. It's really cool, super unique to Portland. Something you don't see in a lot of big cities. You have this tram, it looks like a little tic tac that goes up and down, again, from the South Waterfront up to campus at OHSU and back down. So a lot of people go down and park and go up, but there's also a lot of buildings and facilities for OHSU now down on the waterfront. So South Waterfront, super cool, new, shiny, has a very urban feel to it. Again, all of the residential down there is condos and some apartments as well. You're really close to the city. You have the Portland streetcar as well that goes through there. So each of these areas in South Portland offers something unique as far as what you would be looking for. Now, probably going to be a little bit of a younger area, but also I think pretty diverse as far as who is living here. You're gonna get young professionals, you're gonna get families, you're gonna get retirees, everything in between. The first place I lived, funny story, the first place I lived after college, moving back to Portland, was in this yellow house right here, which was a great time. In fact, when I was living there, it wasn't yellow, it was purple, but this house you can see from the freeway. So every time I drive past it, it stands out. Great time. I loved living in this neighborhood. This was in Lair Hill specifically, but living in Lair Hill, I got to get over to John's Landing. I got to get down to the South Waterfront eventually, because when I was living there was when they were constructing the footbridge to get down to South Waterfront from Kelly Avenue. So Kelly Avenue right there is where you get on the Ross Island Bridge, but the street right before you get on the bridge, now you have access to this pedestrian bridge getting down to South Waterfront. So it kind of ties all of these areas together. South Waterfront is on the riverside or the east side of the freeway of I-5. Lair Hill is up on the north side of I-5, and then John's Landing is on the south side of I-5. So I-5 runs right through this area, which makes it very easy to access to get in and out of you know, whichever neighborhood in South Portland that you would be living. But honestly, you're gonna find some of the best walkability in the city, whether it be South Waterfront, whether it be Lair Hill or John's Landing. You're gonna find some of the most desirable areas that I think, especially for people moving into the area, really fly under the radar. A lot of people wanting to live in Portland, you know, they're primarily gonna be looking at like Northwest Portland or Southeast Portland or Northeast Portland for some of these hip neighborhoods that are very walkable. But South Portland, you know, don't overlook it. Now, there's definitely a lot of walkability. There's probably not as big of a volume of, you know, entertainment district type offerings, restaurants and the bars and, you know, the boutiques and the shops and things like that. But there's, you know, coffee shops on almost every corner, and you have great little independent restaurants, and you have grocery stores. You have access to everything that you would need. Probably one of the most disappointing things to date in South Portland is in South Waterfront, you just have like a handful of restaurants. And I think it's probably a little bit of a missed opportunity to bring in more entertainment to get people coming into this area, although this area isn't super accessible. So, you know, I don't know if it really caters to bringing in hundreds of people, you know, on a Friday, Saturday night, whatever it may be. But you do have the streetcar going in there. Again, you have the tram. You can take the pedestrian bridge. There is some parking down there, so it's not like it's impossible to get to. But at any rate, in South Waterfront, you have like a Subway, a pizza place, a tap room. There's some stuff to do, you know, and there's some stuff right there on your doorstep. But more importantly, underlying that point is that if you're in South Waterfront, you can get anywhere in Portland proper, you know, into some of these hip neighborhoods and these entertainment districts very, very easily, and accessing public transit as well. So you don't necessarily have to take an Uber or drive if you're living in the South Waterfront. Same goes for John's Landing and Lair Hill. Very quick, easy access to anything in Portland that you would want to get into, whether it's downtown or on the east side. And I think overall these areas will just check a lot of boxes for people who want to live in the city in more of an urban setting, a little more bustling, a little more busy. And these aren't areas that get talked about enough. A lot of highlights. Again, you do have some great restaurants, coffee shops, shopping, things like that. It is walkable. You have a lot of historical charm. You also have Willamette Park, where I'm standing right now, right on the Willamette River. So there's a boat ramp. You have this huge park, great place to lay out, go for a walk, go for a jog, whatever you like to do. Easy access to get on the water as well. And there's this trail that runs all the way up in Northwest Portland, all the way down to about the Selwood Bridge. So from Willamette Park here, you can go anywhere in the city. You can go north of here, south of here, and walk all along the river, all along the water. So it's beautiful, you know, very scenic. You get to take in all of kind of the natural beauty that living in Portland has to offer, living in South Portland. So if South Portland is an area that looks interesting, if you want to talk more about South Portland, Lair Hill, John's Landing, South Waterfront, or areas that are similar, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video and schedule a Zoom call with us. Either way, we would love to help with your move to the Portland area. And if this video is helpful, the biggest thing you could do to help us out is give this video a like. That helps us out a ton. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.